Good afternoon, everyone. I am pleased to be with you here today. We like communicating with you all. And we felt that it is time to come forward and have a little chat with you. And we realize that in your world it is a little bit out of sorts, chaotic, so to speak. And in a world such as that, many of you will be thinking sometimes negatively and attaching yourself to those thoughts of chaos. But what we say to you is, try to turn your mind away from something so negative and turn your mind to something more beautiful. I realized that a few days ago I spoke to you about calming your mind and being at peace within yourselves. And again, I always will say that most human beings, in fact all human beings, crave peace inside of themselves. You may go for a walk in nature and you may be at peace for the period of time that you are there. But when you come home again, are you at peace with yourself? Well, you say no, you may say yes for a short period of time. And so therefore, what I will give to you in the time of now and future times, it will help you to realize that you can give yourself calmness within, and that you could do it so much that it remains permanent within your life. So that you have less worry in your mind. So I will be doing a lot more with Elaine soon. Of course, I need her to rest sometimes, but other times when she is feeling up to it, I will come on here and talk to you, and I will speak to the people and give them peace within their minds and within their hearts. It is up to you whether you carry it on from there on in to give yourself that peace of mind. When you come into our world, there is nothing but peace and love, but your world is far different to that. So this is a medicine that we give to you of the mind to help you to realize that you are important, you are infinite, and you have wisdom inside of your mind that you do not easily access. If you find out how to access that, then you will feel this peace. And it is important. Especially if you are tuning into our world, you need to be thinking positive, don't you? Well, I will be speaking about future subjects as time goes on, about our world connecting with yours. And the veil of the spirit world is ever thinning. It doesn't mean to say that we're all going to just step into your world. What it means to say is that we have greater clarification of communication with your world and the people that choose to connect to it. So therefore, if you are giving messages to somebody and you are trusting, then the message is going to be far clearer, because we are able to make this clearer communication with you all. At this time, it is an important time that you find that inner peace, because most of you are awakening. And as I have said to you many years ago, not on here, but to other people that were more intimately close to Elaine in the group that she sat in, I stated that there would be mass exodus, which there is at the present time in your world. But I could put two meanings to that. There is mass migration and there is mass passings. So therefore, what goes side by side with that is the awakening. And the awakening is starting to happen as we speak. More people are realizing how important it is to know that you go on after this physical life. They are realizing that they are receiving messages from the spirit world or messages from their higher selves. And they do not particularly understand why this is happening to them. Many people are experiencing synchronicities or different sets of emotions, and they are not understanding why their fears are surfacing. But when you are awakening, you are coming to truth. You see, you are meeting with your true self, and that means that you need to clear all of your clutter out of your mind. What it means is that letting go of your fears, letting go of your ways where you are not at peace, letting go of the past, not only in this life but previous lifetimes. You may not know what has happened to you in the previous lifetime. You may not want to know. But one way of letting go of that is also past life regression. And some people choose to do it that way. But mainly in this life, because of the awakening, people are letting go of their fears, or they are trying to let go. And some of you are not particularly aware that you are awakening. You just don't understand why you are feeling the way that you are feeling. It doesn't mean to say that every emotion that you experience in your life is all down to the awakening, because you have emotion inside of you anyway, which you show and experience throughout your lifetime. But this goes to greater depths. This is literally letting everything go, letting old thoughts that are negative go, letting your fears go. And sometimes, yes, it can be very hard and very arduous to try and do this. But the more that you meditate, the more that you practice letting go, and the more that you accept it, then a better chance you have of tuning to your higher self. A better chance that you have of meeting your higher self and becoming that true self that you already are, but you are in a world that is full of ego and conditioning. But you learn from that ego from time to time, and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you may go into another lifetime and have to learn about it in that lifetime. But you will always carry an ego with you in the human existence. And so therefore, trying to move away from that can be difficult. But when you see your chaotic world, it is simply because the awakening is not a few people that are doing this in the world. It is because the whole world is awakening, and the earth itself. The whole lot is awakening. You may say, well, that's a bit of a foolish explanation, but we know. We see things that you don't see. It is an explanation that everyone is surfacing their fears, and the negative is surfacing in so many ways that it cannot be hidden any longer. And so therefore it is the huge uprising that is coming to your world. And it is because you have awakened in the earthly sense and the spiritual sense behind that, that you will realize that. You will start coming together and being united in the streets of most places on this earth. Most of you will meet up, you will meet friends and make friends that you have never met before, and you will come together united as millions of people together. It is already happening, yes, but this is huge. It's all over the world. Wherever there is trouble, there are people that will unite. And that day you will feel something wonderful, because you will sense and feel the love that is emanating from this unitedness of the people. And perhaps you will be there amongst them. Perhaps you will just be experiencing it in the background. But I tell you now that this world is going to have this huge uprising. And the ones that are negative to it are worrying about it. Why? when they could be part of it themselves if they would just open their eyes and see that when they go away from this life, they cannot take any of their riches with them. Not any of it. Unless, of course, they put it into their coffin and burn it or bury it. That's the only way. But you do not need the riches of life in the spirit world. You only need the love that you take with you. And when you get into the spirit world, you will have boundless amounts of love. Copious amounts. It is inexplicably beautiful. So whilst you are here, let yourself awaken to your truths. Meet your higher self. It is you. It is the real you. And you're going to have to face it because it's part of the awakening. So looking at it from, if you were going to look at it from a point of view of religiousness, which we do not condemn, by the way, because we are part of the existence of what they realize that you go to. But I would say that there will be no more fear with that either. So people will unite all around the world, whatever religion they are. In the end, you may not think that now. You may say, well, we are disagreeing with certain points of view that they may have. Yes, humans will always do that, but I think that you will become closer to one another because you literally all go to the same place, don't you? You go home. You've got to learn to get along with each other. But it isn't happening at present. But there will come a time when more of you will see past that. You are going to have to go through many tests. As human beings, you have already been, but there are further tests to go through. But because of those tests, don't get worried, because that is what will bring about unitedness. That is what will bring about that love. Out of the negative came the positive. Have you ever watched many movies on your time on Earth? You see, you watch your televisions or your programs that you watch, and you always see that the hero wins, don't you? You've never seen them lose. They may lose for 5 minutes, then all of a sudden they uprise themselves, you see. The plan is that the hero always wins. The good always wins. So that's what it's going to be like, you see, because when those amount of people unite everywhere, you can only win. So this doom and gloom of the end of the world, of war and peace, don't you want peace? Don't you want to unite with each other? Don't you want to be kind to one another? I would say this from the spirit world. You would say, well, it's okay for you. You are in the spirit world. You could easily say that. But I have had lifetimes, yes. Testing ones one might add. But I will say that the negative will bring about this unitedness. It will. And there won't just be millions of people, there will be trillions of people. Going to get very crowded, one might add. So, I am going to, only say certain things. I am limited in that way because of your earthly situation. But I would say that your guides will tell you the same thing. However they will explain it, it may be slightly differently placed in the way of wording, but they will still tell you what is going to happen. And the people that have passed in similar circumstances well, they have passed so that the truth may come about. They wanted to go that way. I know you may think it's sad, but they are all at peace. And I would say to you, they're never left alone. But they have come together to pass in those situations so the truth may come to your earth. There's always a reason for everything. So I would say, keep strong, keep determined, keep positive, and be ready for it. Be ready for what is about to be. Because you know, by 2025 you will know all of this. You will know. And I know that our timing isn't always exact. That is why I don't give you dates and times. There is no need for that. I will say that in a period of time, all this will come about. It's already starting. It's just a little stem, you see, is starting to grow. And that will turn into it something like a jack and a beanstalk plant. You see, it'll be so tall, so uprising. And you would think, well, how can that be possible? Well, you can make it possible. Anyone can. But it needs a lot of you to make it possible. And you see, people will be wincing, wincing at what is going on. They will shut themselves away and get worried. I guarantee you. Because nothing beats the spirit world. Nothing beats the souls that are in such high places in the spirit world. They are gathering. And they are realizing the situation. They know about it. They are gathering in joy, actually, because they know the end result. So as much doom and gloom as you want to think, do you really want to plaster your mind with that? Or do you want to see success? Do you want to see this uprising? We know it. We see it. It is there. And the world well and truly wakes up by 2025. So you may have to go through another year of it, and all of a sudden it'll be enough. Enough is enough, right? Let's all come together and be our true selves for once. So going back to the beauty of the spiritual side, become your true self. Because that will help you with this unitedness, looking at it from the earthly point of view again. That will help you to be strong. And if you don't particularly want to be a part of the people gathering in the streets, put your mind to gather with them there. Because your consciousness can be anywhere. You see, it can think of things and the thought goes to the particular place or people. And all of a sudden, you're thinking about it, and there you are, giving joy to others. You see, you don't always have to be present if you don't want to be. But there will be others that will be. Your earth. Let's look at it from this point of view. Your earth is shifting, isn't it? And you think that it is something new. It is expanding itself, as it has done for millions and trillions of years. It's nothing new to the earth. It may seem new to you, but if you go back to the past, if you go back to that, you will see that it has done the same thing over and over, but sometimes it does it a little bit more prevalently so that you notice it and you become fearful of the end of the world. You have volcanic eruptions in your world. Nothing's going to stop them. They've gone on for centuries, millenniums. They will always erupt because the earth has a cooling system and a warming system. You see, it has to air itself like you have to air yourself, you see. And it's not airing anger like you do. It is needing to have a release because there are pressures that build up within inside the earth. And so when a pressure builds up, it moves and it becomes expanded. And that is what is causing the earthquakes and the volcanic eruptions. It has to let off steam, doesn't it? And it has to change like you change. And so therefore what happens is the earth movements cause land separation and it causes water rising. So countries separate, or lands separate, you see. It's been going on for centuries. And people think, well, that must be something new, must be the end of the world. Utter nonsense. No, it is not. Stop looking at all of the doom and look at the happiness. And whoever is meant to go home through these disasters will go home because they have chosen to go home. It is sad, yes it is, because you don't want your loved ones to pass in certain situations. But in some of these countries it has gone on for years and nobody had noted it until now. They've just got on with it, they've dealt with it. It soon becomes old news, doesn't it? And where is the help for them then? Once the news becomes, well, that subject is boring, we will move on to the next disaster. We've got great coverage here. Yes. And those that are previously having these disasters are left to get on with it. Where is their help after that? You see, where is it? Nowhere to be seen. But you don't see that. That is shut away from you. You don't see it anymore. And you switch on to another program with a disaster upon that. And soon the same happens there. So you see, the human race is a very, very powerful, intelligent race that would survive most of that. And they would start to rebuild their lives again. And no one would even notice. It becomes, as I say, old news. And even if you have an uprising, you know, do you think that they will televise that? They may do, they may not. But it's going to happen anyway. And whilst all this is happening to you and others around you, we love you forever. We are with you through your difficulties. We are with you through your happy moments. We are here to help and advise you to be strong in the face of adversity. At the moment they are building so many technologies, but the idea was in their minds years ago. So it's nothing new to them. It's only new to you. And you know, sometimes things are helpful, sometimes they are not. But you are all going to be the ones that press the button for the change in your future. Be there for each other. Talk to each other. Communicate. Positive. Because you don't know what's coming and we do. Well, I will leave that with you. And we will leave our utmost of love and tenderness with you. That's what we want to give you. So stop worrying and start attuning to your intuitiveness, your powerful mind within. That is limitless in there. Do it more often. Give yourself joy. And the others that are meant to sort this negative out will do. They have come here to do it. You be part of the positive. Help each other and stop hating each other. Because what good will it do? It doesn't solve anything really, does it? Because the problems don't go away. It's facing things that heals. God bless you all. And I will speak to you again soon.